I'm Jeff the Brotherhood, and you're listening to WPRK in Winter Park, Florida.
Magic Transistor Radio, every Saturday, 7 to 9 p.m. on WPRK, Winter Park, Florida.
Yo, what is up, everyone? You're listening to 91.5 WPRK FM, the best in basement radio. You're currently listening to Oblivion Society Radio. I'm your host and DJ MIASMA. I also go by Victor. I'm here in the studio chilling with the one and only Liam Hennessey. You guys, what is up?
What it do, folks? What it do?
We've just been chilling here, talking nonsense about the scene, talking nonsense about music, trading stories and whatnot. So we decided, I got to stop talking off the mic. So I was like, let's just talk about this on air. Mm-hmm. So to get into it, man, how have you been?
I've been pretty good. Things have been pretty solid. Can't complain. Just off the heels of a fantastic show over at Will's Pub. I'll have to give you all the details about that later on.
Yeah, I'm excited about that one. So let's jump right
let's just jump right in. Yeah.
So it's ice related, so just to kind of tease people that are listening.
It was it was the No More Ice show at Will's Pub on the 28th of last month. I don't know who here listening went to it, but it was fully sold out. It was a lot of fun.
Nice.
I helped in conjunction with Christian Moyers. He used to be from Spark Booking. Shout out Christian. Along with the folks at Montgomery Drive. They're huge in the scene if you haven't heard of them. Same with Velvet Crowbar. They were on this project too. It was a bunch of people all working together for super awesome cause. Nice. We raised about $3,386 for the Immigrant Legal Resource Center.
Nice. And this was on the 4th of July, right?
No. That was a different show.
That's a different show. Okay.
That one was a lot more low key than the No More Ice show. The No More Ice show was sold out, people standing outside the door waiting for someone to leave, that type of situation. And it was a Monday night too.
Nice.
Yeah, it was
for a Monday. Nice.
Yeah, I know. That's what we all were saying there. It was a lot of fun. I specifically was responsible for getting the vendors and some of the guest speakers. Mm-hmm. Let's see. We had whatchamacallit. I got 2 vendors specifically for that show. I got Nova Rose, the magician. She's pretty solid. Definitely check out her socials. And then I got this really, really neat vendor, Danisman Photography. I saved this actually to show you real quick. He takes a picture of your iris and makes art of it.
Okay, wow, that's really cool.
I know, it's super cool. Crisp. Yeah. Super, super awesome stuff. Definitely check out his stuff.
We saw something like that. My girlfriend and I were in Miami last weekend to see Laid Back Luke, and we were in Biscayne, and we saw someone doing just that, doing specifically photos of your eye, and we're like, yo, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's very trippy stuff for sure.
I feel like my eyes look broken. I feel like if I had that, if someone showed me a picture of my eyes, I'd be like, yo, my eyes look broken, dog.
I mean, that's cool in itself, though. That's, every eye is unique, but, there's unique and then there's super unique.
Yeah. My uniqueness is I don't take my contacts out.
That's fair.
Right.
Doesn't that hurt after a while?
It does. But I do take them out after a little bit. The secret is just to keep them wet. That's the secret that I've learned.
Interesting. Okay, so just constant eye drops?
Yeah, just and not even just eye drops. I use the solution. I'll just drop it right in and just kind of let it rock.
Pure saline solution, or
yeah, just a regular contact solution. Just boop boop. Or sometimes you can find eye drops that are good for eyes and contacts. Just for rejuvenation. And so I'll just boop boop boop. But if you do it too much, your eyes dry out super hard, super hard.
Yeah, I imagine so. Too much of anything can be a bad thing, hydration included.
But tell me, a question about the ice thing. So were there any hiccups? Was there any?
No, it went about as smooth as could possibly be.
Nobody showed up to be. Yeah, you can't say that.
Yeah, no fuzz. It was a pretty resounding endorsement of Central Florida's opinion on the whole matter. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. In addition to getting those two vendors I just spoke about, I also was coordinating some of the other activist tabling as well. I got the Orange County Dems to show up, table out, get somewhat, literature to get people more involved in their community. In addition to that, we also had tabling from the Young Dems Caucus, the Rainbow Caucus, and Latino Caucus. So a lot of people showed out to make sure that, you can make sure you're registered to vote, sign petitions, get involved in an organization, do something locally.
I'm just joking, but in general, that's dope though, because like I told you, like I mentioned to you, like I got a little nervous going just because like nowadays, like being Hispanic, for those that don't know, I'm Hispanic, like it makes me a little nervous because like I'll be real, I'm like a bit of like a internet rat, like I live on the internet, I'm chronically online.
I mean, it is 2025. Who isn't nowadays?
Right. And it's just a little concerning sometimes to see the posts that are posted and things that are said. Mm-hmm. It's like, for example, my sister went to go see Kill Tony like 2 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. He was just here.
Yeah.
And she went to go see him. And she said it was great. The show was funny. But the second, they said they had like a segment where they were like, we're going to talk about jobs. And somebody was like, ICE. And then my sister told me they started an ICE chant. There was like over 200 people in there going, ICE, 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 ICE. Like, and some dude was in the corner like,
scary.
Deport them all. And I was like, and apparently like obviously like the comedians and whatever were like, no. They're like, no more. But, like, hearing stories like that makes me apprehensive going out.
Something's a touchy subject when people whose, half of their identity is like, my free speech. They're like, no, I won't touch that with a 10-foot pole.
And to get into it, right, because I think what you did was really cool because it, and we've mentioned it before, talking about, like, the punk scene, like, the punk attitude. Mm-hmm. And, for example, for me, at least in dance music, right, there's a lot of like we were talking about earlier, there's some people here in the community who like to support, political figures that go actively against the culture that they're in. You know what I mean? And it's like, how do you, from your perspective, right, as someone who's hosted events, that does events, that runs around corralling everybody to do stuff, how do you look out for that? How do you try to keep your message and your events consistent? How do you do that?
I mean, I just wear my opinions on an open sleeve. I mean, literally, I'm wearing a shirt I got from the event we were just talking about, the No Ice Show. For those of you who are listening and can't see, there isn't a camera set up today, is there?
No.
Okay, so y'all won't be able to see this, but I'm wearing a Madame Mayor shirt.
In the future, I'm going to be live streaming.
Okay, wait.
Yeah, so
all right.
I'm excited for that.
That'll be fun for the next time I'm on. Because the guest speakers that were there, I want to shout them out, of course, since I brought some of them in. Anna Escamani was there. She was great. It was really surreal to introduce her to the stage. That was, don't know who brought her on, but I was specifically responsible for bringing on our other two speakers, Philippe Souza, Lazabellet. I don't want to mispronounce it. I'm probably going to mispronounce it anyways. But Philippe Souza Labette, he's actually running to take over Amani's old seat because, can't be mayor and local representative at the same time.
Yeah.
And then the other speaker was Samuel Vilches Santiago. He's actually the youngest DEC chair in Florida.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, no. It was super encouraging actually listening to what they were saying in the speech at that show. It seems to be indicative of a new trend within people. They're not sort of content to just lie down, take the status quo anymore. They want to like push things. Mm-hmm. He specifically in his speech, the reason I'm thinking about all this now is he's like, how many here are kind of like annoyed that the Democrats don't do anything? And a lot of people ended up raising their hands, unfortunately.
No,
he's like, yeah. That's the whole reason I decided to, get involved and run was because I was unsatisfied with how things are going. And he, just was straight up about, the more aggressive approach that we're going to be doing here in Central Florida, which I like. I like, seeing people fight back and, not just be content to let the brown shirts march the street.
I do feel like it's happening more so, not just because of that, but also because, especially in music, I feel like now the pendulum is starting, and I've said this a billion times like in the last 2 weeks, but I feel like the pendulum is coming the other way, where like, say in the early 90s, 2000s, early 2010s, like it was not that big labels and big companies, but like you were saying, everybody was cool with following the status quo because it's like in some level you're safe because you know that even though I'm a this, I'm gonna get that, which is what you want at the end of the day. But now that we're in a place like I'm calling it right now, I call it the scammer era. Now that we live in the scammer era, there is no guarantee that you're going to get yours. And so now people are looking for even more authenticity. So like for me, in my case with music, like now you see more and more artists posting themselves, being, doing trends, being silly, being dumb, showing their actual face. And they're blowing up more than artists or people who are supported so much by the industry, because it's like I've said before, like, for example, the events that you do, you're actually giving the people something. You're giving them not just a reason to go out, but you're, like, for example, with the ice show, you're standing up against something. So that's a positive. People will react to that. But then when you're there, you had, like you said, you had guest speakers, you're giving them actually something of value. It's not just show up and give us your money and buy drinks and then get out. Yeah. Now it's 2:00, get out. It's like, come in, let's have a powwow, like uplift each other in some sort of way, or at least provide a safe space. Yeah. And then,
I mean, I always try to make sure that, even the non-benefit shows are safe spaces, of course. But, I mean, there is something truly different about, hanging outside the venue with your buddies, realizing, y'all, made a real serious impact, the entirety of the scene made a huge impact in a very positive way, which I'm pleased about. I'm actually trying to set something up at Will's pretty soon, something similar to what we just did. I'm thinking this time more so something for Zebra Youth or the PCRF, which I've done before, but like...
What is the PCRF, just because...
and not everyone knows. The PCRF, Palestinian Children's Relief Fund.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, I've done stuff for them before, but like it was at a venue that I hadn't been to before, in a town that I hadn't been to before, so it was all right. But especially after what just happened at Will's, I have my sights set a little bit higher for charitable causes.
No, I believe it totally. And just to play one track, just so we can get like a little bit of a breather, right? So we can kind of find a topic. I'm gonna play you guys this track that I know you're gonna like. Okay, it's kind of on the subject that we're on a little bit. All right. So for those of you that are listening, we're gonna play this. I'm gonna play this track for you. This track is by I don't know how to say it. It's TSHA. I don't know if it's Tisha, but this is their track called Revolution, which is pretty on the nose for what we're talking about. So we'll be right back after this track. All right, what up, you guys? We're back. We were looking at a David Bowie song that I'm going to listen to later that he was showing me. But for those that were listening, I hope you guys enjoyed that track. So just to get back on the topic, right? Like the song says, the revolution won't be on social media.
No, it won't.
Like you're saying, it happens in the mind.
It happens in the mind and in the heart first. They can't televise that.
Exactly. And, and the shows that, like we were talking about, that you were doing along with all these other artists, to get it from the other viewpoint, how did the artists react to it? How were they interact with it all?
They were pretty enthused as well, because, I mean, it was sold out to the door, people pouring in, pouring out. So obviously they were pretty happy to have, an audience of that size, for sure, if nothing else. And on top of that, everyone's rocking out for a good cause.
That's awesome. Especially like we were saying earlier, the generation now doesn't want to wait, for stuff to happen. And
it's because we're more educated. I feel like there's more access to education for more people than at any time in history. You have a portable encyclopedia on you at all times. Now, unfortunately, a lot of people,
don't want to use Google.
It's not even that, because unfortunately, Google automatically incorporates their AI function into their search now. So it's been kind of tainted. But Google's been tainted for a while now. Google's just been slowly getting worse and worse throughout the years. I feel like removing the slogan "Don't be evil" as your like slogan, that should be a pretty big red flag.
Right. Well, and that's the thing, nowadays it's like, is it evil or is it just money?
I'd argue that they're one and the same.
Agreed, but that's how people look at it now. You know what I mean? Because like now it's like, for example, even me on some level, I do equate freedom to financial status a little bit.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, if you just pay for something to make it go away, like, that should tell you everything that you need to know about everything.
Well, I mean, that's because, like, in our society, money is so tied to, like, the things that you use to regulate your well-being, like your health, your housing, your car, etc. Everything's tied to money here. So it's got, I would say, an artificially inflated sense of importance here in our country, especially.
Yeah. And more so and also more so in music as well, because like for example, Deadmau5 was talking about this in an interview like a while back. He was talking about how like he's like, isn't it crazy that people say, oh, I'm going to a rave, I'm a raver, I'm going to this underground party, this underground music, and it's like, and you, I'm trying not to curse, and you bought your freaking ticket on Ticketmaster, and it's sponsored by like he said, and it's sponsored by Coca-Cola. Like, what kind of...
Yeah, that's truly underground right there.
Oh, yeah, bro. Underground, you buy your tickets on Ticketmaster, and you got your confirmation email. Like, oh, yeah, bro. Because, like he said, back then you'd have to convince someone to let you buy the tickets, and then the tickets were just a stupid piece of paper that told you an address, which you had to meet people at that address at a specific time, and then you'd get on a bus or get in someone's car or follow a complete stranger to like the middle of nowhere, and then that's where you hear the doo doo doo.
Yeah, no, that's where the party's really at.
You're like, oh, okay, cool, lit.
Well, that's why I like house shows so much. House shows are just built different, quite literally.
Yeah, no, agreed, and they're completely different. And in my neck of the woods, at least with my expertise with dance music, I'm glad the pendulum is starting to shift, like we were saying, the other way.
DIY is the way, man. People are waking up to it.
Yeah, especially because now, like I was showing you, like there's some artists locally. I love that we're all like everything's within the same circle today. It's like because you have artists locally here in Orlando that support. Like I said earlier, how do you support? For example, using dance music as the vehicle, right? Which is all about inclusivity. There's no gender, there's no sexuality, there's no race, there's no whatever. We're just all here to have a good time.
Yeah, imagine all the people.
And especially if you look at the history of dance music was primarily created by African Americans in Chicago, which then translated into Europe, and now in 2025, the whole world is dancing. And now we're being told no, this is how it's gonna be by people in a dance music community. So as I'm ranting, but to give a quick example, Pasquale Rotella, who's the owner of EDC, everybody loves Electric Daisy Carnival. Everybody's like, that's my safe space, that's my home, and candy and plur and love and gushy feelings. But then you have the CEO who's actively supporting the administration that's actively stripping away every single protection and right and safety that people that go to dance music events look for.
Yeah, I mean, it's counterintuitive to that whole sort of genuine sort of safety. Like, how can you say that you're in a safe space when the person running that space could not care less about your specific demographic?
Yeah.
You're insert slur here. Who cares?
And at the end of the day, those people are, and that's the funny thing. Like you see online, you'll see people say, like, I've had people, even friends, message me, be like, you're being so divisive, and it's like, what do you mean I'm being divisive? Like, this music is supposed to be about having fun and a good time, and you don't like the people that are at the party. So then, what's wrong with me saying, hey, you should? If you don't like it, then maybe you should leave.
Yeah, exactly.
Clearly, you're not comfortable. You are not comfortable, so you should leave. And then those same people are like, no, maybe you. Why don't you leave? And it's like,
that's because they're entitled.
Like, yeah, and like we were saying earlier, you have to like teach people. You have to like. It's not our job. It's not your job. It's not my job. But But at the end of the day, for some reason, we have to teach these people, like, hey, bro, like, in the most way that makes sense to them.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I feel a lot of it is just in part to, like, we were talking about, people defending the status quo earlier. That's the ultimate sense of entitlement right there. Like, you are single-handedly or, like, in a group, you're deciding things are not allowed to change. They have to stay the way they are. In spite of everyone else who, wants there to be a change.
Mm-hmm. No, agreed. And I think that's, at the end of the day, that's the unrest that's currently running amok in our country.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, I don't know how to, it's weird to try to put like an age on it. Like I tell my girlfriend all the time, but it's like a certain age range and up really want the younger people to buy into that ideology.
They're not going to,
and it's like they're yes and no, just because we both know that, like, sadly, like, there's always that margin. There's always that.
There's always margins, yeah.
In
sure.
that fringe amount, or not even a fringe amount. It's a good amount of people that even with the knowledge and the information and the proof and the fact that it affects them personally.
Yeah.
And even with the entitlement and all that, it's like, how do you not stop people from essentially, like, shooting themselves in the foot, but it's like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
how do you teach, what's the word I'm looking for? Self-preservation. How do you teach self-preservation to someone in a world where it doesn't really exist anymore? Like, in the sense that, like, there's no, like, you don't have to hunt to eat. You don't have to, you, like, and I'm not trying to downplay people who are, like, homeless or in serious situations.
Yeah.
But the people that are able, you know what I'm saying? The people that are able
have their needs met.
They'll actively choose to go backwards.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, dude.
Because they feel that they'll benefit from that arrangement.
Yeah, and it's like, man, like, it's crazy because at the same time, there are people actively telling them to their face, extending their hand, here, I got you.
Yeah.
And it's like, a dumb example, I don't know if anybody listening has ever, like, read a lot of Batman comic books, or if you read a lot of comic books like I do. But
I was just watching something the other day about Ultimate Croc. Like Killer Croc.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I know what you're talking about. You're talking about Absolute Batman. Yeah. Batman, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, to get on that vibe, well, not Absolute Batman, but there's a lot of people know the Killing Joke.
I mean, it's one of Batman's more iconic chapters.
And the thing that always stuck out to me, bringing up that, right, the rejecting help, is at the end of that storyline, Joker tells Batman the joke, hey, there's two guys, they escape an insane asylum, they're on the roof, and one guy jumps across, and he turns around and tells the other guy, hey, like, come on, let's go, and the other guy's too scared. So then the guy uses his flashlight and shines the beam of light across the buildings, and he goes, hey, just walk across the beam and you'll be safe. And the guy's like, no, you're crazy, because you'll turn it off once I get halfway across.
Mm-hmm.
And Joker starts laughing, to which eventually Batman laughs. And for the people that don't get it, the beam that he's talking about is not a beam of, like, wood. It's literally the beam of light. So they're both crazy. The joke that Joker's trying to make is that they're both crazy. Mm-hmm. By saying Batman is a dude holding a flashlight going, walk across the beam, you'll be safe. And Joker's telling him, bro, that's a beam of light. You're going to shut it off when I'm halfway through, which proves how dumb he is, because it's like, bro, you can't walk on that either.
Mm-hmm.
So the joke is there's no helping each other. We're both stuck.
Yeah.
But it's because there's that lack of trust.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, because, like, he's telling him, I can save you, I can help you, just like you guys are doing actively with your events. Like, I don't know if you look at it that way, but in ways you are, waking people up to certain thing, or maybe someone sees a friend of a friend go to that show and be like, am I the baddie? Are we the baddies?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah. I mean, it's a bunch of small things usually that take people to wake up like that. But, I mean, the first step is someone like, yourself or myself or whoever's out there listening right now. Just go out and do the help. If you want to see, positivity in the world, if you want to see a better world be built in front of you, you have to take part in the building yourself.
I appreciate you say that, because I was telling my girlfriend that I grew up grew up Mormon, for people that don't know. And,
that's crazy.
Yeah. And there's something that I was a missionary, and that's why I say that. And there's something that I always try to do, which was like, I'm not religious now, but I'm the type of person where, like you said just now, if you were to pray for someone, like for example, if we weren't here and I had a different guy, or let's talk about this Chef as an example.
Yeah.
If Chef was here, or if he wasn't here, and I was like, and he was sick, and I said, I prayed to God, and I said, please heal him, make him feel better, help him with whatever he's got going on in his life. I would expect you, because you heard me say that, hold me to the standard of like, yo, Victor, since you talked about him, you should be the one to go check on him.
Yeah.
To put that energy out, because like you were saying, like basically, like to me, that's how I look at it. If you're gonna bring it up, if you're gonna do something, you should like be in it and be a part of it. Because if not, then it's just kind of like offering.
At the same time, it falls upon the other person in that situation. Hey, you're reminding your buddy to check on the buddy. Why don't you join him and check on the buddy yourself? Since you clearly also care. You're reminding him like, hey, go do the thing. Go do the thing. Yeah. That's a sign that you also have to go do the thing.
Yeah, exactly. And because especially nowadays, you never know who's going through something. Because, we obviously live on social media. We live through our phones. We have a very, not one-dimensional, showing of ourselves. But obviously, you and I will, off air, we'll talk about our own stuff. But even then, there's certain things that we'll keep inside, and I think that it's people just not, it's not being woke. I don't think it's like any like big word you want to put on it, but it's just people being people and just being like, man, you look a little down right now. Like, and like you said, it takes one person being brave enough to ask and be like, hey man, are you good? And then it takes the other person the equal amount to be like, no, I'm not actually. Like, I'm bad, and this is why I'm bad.
You have to be willing to take a leap of faith.
Which no one here can see it, but look at my phone screen.
Oh wow, that is
kid you not,
accurate.
Bro.
Yeah,
I kid you not.
That is a literal leap of faith right there.
So for the people that aren't here that can't see my phone screen, it's a still image of Andrew Garfield in his whole Spider-Man outfit when he's jumping off the building in like the start of the movie. So like he said, it's just the leap of faith. You just gotta start doing it. And like I've said recently to people before, I'm just trying to stay busy, whether it's making music, running here with you, for the people listening, my mom's in the hospital right now. She's good, but, it's a tender situation, and it's just like staying busy, because again, like you never, like, I could be stressed out with my mom not being super well right now and whatever, but then what if just me being kind or taking that same empathy, and being like I said, and not knowing. You don't have to actually know anything about the person I was going to say interfacing with. That you're interacting with. We're not computers. But you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, since we're, like, because music and politics and everything go hand in hand, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's just, like my girlfriend would say, it's people being people.
Yeah.
Like, like it's just finding out what their tics are and then being like, what's wrong? And then if you can't fix it, be like, it's cool. We can we can agree to disagree, but that shouldn't go beyond that, which I feel like obviously nowadays in 2025 is like
we're a little bit past that albatross.
Yeah. That's like what's her face in Louise, like, the girls who drive the car off like the cliff or whatever, like.
Well, I mean, it also depends on the topic that you're talking about as well. Like, you can have a disagreement about pizza toppings. It's another thing to talk about human rights.
True that. No, agreed. But I feel like just nowadays everything is so like my girlfriend would say. I'm the type to say that I look at life black and white, and then my girlfriend likes to say, "Oh, there's a gray area in everything," and which, like I've told her, like you're right on some level, but like I've told her from my perspective, a gray is just inaction, because at the end of the day, you're either, let's say, yes, there's I'm doing, I'm not doing, and then there's the middle. If you're in the middle, to me, you're still not doing because you're not actively doing. Like it's like that. It's like Skechers. I blame Skechers, you guys. Like, you know why? I don't know if anybody remembers this. Verb. It's what you do. Like they used to have those commercials, and this is for me again. Like that's how my brain works, at least. So it's like either you do or you don't. And if you don't do anything, you're just allowing everything else to happen, you know? And it's like,
I mean, hey, nothing wrong with a little bit of dialectics here and there.
right. But I just say all that just because, you know, hopefully to the people that are listening, or, you know, you guys have future conversations with your friends and whatnot, you know. Try to go out of your way, you know, to do something you haven't done before, you know, like in a positive. Like if I could challenge anyone that's listening, you know, just do a positive, you know, like be a goofy guy. Like
It's a lot of fun, trust me, guys.
yeah, like just be a goofy guy, just be nice to someone, and even if they're, you know, freaking rude, just be nice, you know, because it's so disarming. I'll be real. Like, there have been moments even when I'm out and about and I'm like huffy and I'm like, I'm not being mean, but I'm just like, yeah, I'm not going to talk to them. And then they'll hit you with some niceness, and it's like, okay, like, I feel like a nozzle now. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like, it's ridiculous. But to kind of like, to shift gears though, to get into to more about the event, you know, because we've been talking about events, the political effects and whatnot.
The scene as a whole.
The scene as a whole. What else do you have planned coming up?
Yeah, I'd be happy to go into that. I have a bunch of shows that I'm going to be releasing officially, hopefully either this Friday or the next upcoming Monday, but I'll go ahead and shout them out now while I'm here, just as a little, what's the word, soft release? Soft push?
A soft launch? Or
Yeah, that's soft launch. That's the that's the verbiage I was trying to think of. But we got stuff going on September 20th at the Sly Fox. I'll be helping Aurora's Hope out. They're a touring band from Charlotte.
Okay.
Super, super good live. They kind of sound like 1995 in the best way, like just very grungy and like distorted punk in its like best essence. It's super good. Highly recommend you come out to that show. Again, that will be at the Sly Fox, downtown Orlando. October 31st, Halloween. I'm actually doing a collab show with Henry Cron at Punk Rock Pizza. He's actually one of the artists over at the No More Ice show. That's how, you know, we had met and spoken a little bit before, but, you know, we ran into each other at the show, and he brought up that he does in-house booking now. And I was like, yeah, let's do something together. I've been looking to do something Halloween anyway, so we'll be doing something there. That should be a lot of fun. And then December 14th, I'll be doing something at the West End. A lot of fun acts, all local, of course. So that should be fun. Those are all the confirmed ones right now. I'm also trying to help set up something around November 7th for this Dominican group that's coming into town.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, they're touring all the way from the Dominican Republic, so I'm definitely going to try and get something set up there. So stay tuned for that. I'll be announcing that also probably Friday or next Monday, along with the rest of the shows. If not, it might be in the next week. And yeah, I think that's the rest of my year. Oh wait, there's one more that I'm planning as well. I was talking to you about this off air. We were going to have a show on the 9th at Austin's Coffee, but that had to be rescheduled just due to a double booking conflict over there. You know, it happens, especially with all the stuff that Austin's been going through. I don't know if you've been paying attention to that.
Yeah, I saw that they were getting closed. They were getting petitioned to get closed down.
Yeah, the city's kind of got a vendetta against them a little bit. So they've got like two.
What city has nothing against? Every city has something against a local anything. Like,
yeah. God forbid you try and establish a free place for people.
The second you put a capital L local loved, you know, locals love this, the city goes, oh, really? Let's get rid of it.
Close, ban.
Yeah.
You are now a parking lot. That's the biggest insult to entry. They want to turn it into a parking lot.
That's I did read that. Yeah.
How soulless.
Right. Just
how soulless do you have to be?
Can park his Mercedes. Like, whatever. Like.
Yeah,
kind of like it's not the same, but that might like the absurdity makes me think of like I just read this thing on the way here. I was like half awake, and I was on Reddit, and it was like Jeff Bezos to put Lauren Sanchez in new James Bond movie, and I'm like, bro, you're delusional.
Yeah, no, yeah.
It made me laugh. I'm like, you as a Bond girl? No. But like in a similar, you know what I'm trying to say? It's like the delusion that lives there. It's like, why? Like,
yeah.
No.
But like I was saying, I'll be rescheduling that show pretty soon. I'm actually stopping by Austin's like right after this interview. So who knows? Maybe that'll get reannounced within the next couple days, but that should be coming down. It'll be JR3, Paradox, Mohica, and then my homie Yarsi. All of them phenomenal rappers. They each bring a little something different to the table. Mm-hmm. So that should be a lot of fun whenever that gets, finalized again. So nice. Looking forward to that one whenever it does happen.
Same.
So there is a lot of stuff coming down the pipeline for sure. Definitely stay in tune. Like I said, we got those 3 dates that are confirmed. The details for that will be coming out Friday or Monday, and then we got some other stuff coming down the pipeline too.
Yeah, like for those that don't know, like we've been trying to plan something for a minute, and especially at least from my side completely. I just really want to like throw in like the more, how can I put it, dedicated musicians that I meet online. Like next week I have this guy. His name is Jacob.
Okay, right.
He's an Orlando native. And I met him through TikTok. So what I've been doing lately is going on TikTok and posting every day, like whether it's with my own music or just giving DJ advice, like hey, like this is how you can market yourself better, or this is that, And I've just been meeting people offline or online, and I'm gonna send you his info soon. So because like we were talking about finding DJs for a show. Yeah. But that's kind of what I'm looking for right now, is just to do events. And if you guys that are listening know anybody, you can hit me up on my website. It's miasmamusic.net. Just trying to like you said, just trying to find those that circle of people. You know? But I do have a group of guys I want to introduce you to.
Okay, we'll definitely have to set that up sometime soon then.
Yeah, just because, I'm sick and tired of, to put it bluntly, I'm sick and tired of, EDM events here in Orlando being run by people with money that, at the end of the day, never gave a shh about anything,
Sheesh!
Yeah, and it's like, man, it's crazy, because, I tell my girlfriend all the time, it's crazy to, think back of, when I was in high school, these guys were already in the clubs, the specific people I'm talking about that I'm not going to name. They were already in clubs, DJing or partying, and they didn't give a rat's whatever about dance music. And I was getting bullied in high school, actively bullied in high school. And I told my girlfriend, I remember there was a time right now in 2025, no one will dare say a bad thing about Avicii, for example. I'm wearing an Avicii hat right now. No one will ever say a bad thing about Avicii. No one would ever. You'd get crucified online if you.
Oh yeah.
But if you go back to 2011, 2010, oh dude, the slander was so real. If you even thought of playing the song Levels, you were getting mentally slapped by someone just because you played Levels. It was a joke, if you remember. It was almost like, they played Levels, haha. And it's and on top of that, I was in the crowd for Ultra Music Festival with my mom when he played Don't Wake Me Up for the first time.
Oh, word?
People were booing. People, and again, famous DJs, young DJs, news people, bloggers have all said it. Me too. And I'm saying it now. No one remembers that. No one remembers the boos. And it was loud. It wasn't a 2-3 guys boo. It was half the crowd going boo, boo. And it was crazy. It's crazy.
That is crazy. I remember seeing something similar online a couple years ago. It was this clip of Alice in Chains performing Man in the Box a month before it came out.
That's great.
And it was still that era before grunge really took off. And they were touring for, I want to say Megadeth. Pretty sure it was Megadeth. And the boos were loud, and a month later that song went number one.
Right.
People they flip on a dime.
But it shows that at the end of the day, the future is always there. You just
gotta look for it. Yeah,
gotta look for it. It's always and like we were saying earlier, corporations and all this and all that. It's just be yourself, be a weirdo, because that's what it was meant to be. I tell everybody, that's why I love EDM, because at the end of the day, if I give you a drums, a bass line, a synthesizer, and somebody's vocal, and I said, here's 30 minutes in a room by yourself. Make something. And I'm going to do the same thing. The most sick part is that when we show each other what we made, they're not going to sound alike at all.
Yeah, it'll be entirely different.
And you could do the same experiment with 10 people. Put them in a room and just say, yo, do what you want to do. Don't try to copy or, just do whatever. And you'll see that everybody, makes their own original thing. But if you gave someone a reference first and you said, here's an idea, people are going to run right after that idea, and it's just crazy to think. Like, I got to ask you, are we going to do I was going to try and think of a joke for like this Sydney Sweeney thing, like with the jeans thing.
Oh, God.
I was going to come up with like a dumb joke, like you should name an event like, Orlando has a good jeans. That's something stupid.
More like Orlando has good geniality.
Right. Like, I don't know. It's just crazy. Like, honestly, bro, like, my brain's fried right now because I woke up because we woke up.
Yeah, I mean, it is it's like not 9. Even 9 yet.
It's 9.
It's just about, but it's still not even 9 yet.
3, bro. I went to bed at 3.
That's crazy.
I'm cooked right now.
Yeah, no, I'm a little cooked myself. I woke up at, I think like 3 o'clock, 4:30. Mm-hmm. So I woke up around the same time you were going to sleep. That's crazy.
I know, right? Like, it's for the people listening. I've been running. Not saying it's not an excuse, but I'm just tired. Just like we were talking about, like my mom not being so hot right now. That and my big thing for me that I'll share with you guys on the radio is like, like I was showing you some of the music that I've made recently, and I'm just trying to get all that out right now. Like I told you, like just trying to get more followers, just trying to like grow the brand, similar like what you're doing with your stuff, your events and whatnot. Actually, let me ask you, since we're already talking about it, how do you promote your events? Like, what's your method, or like, what's your?
I like to try and like do stuff like pretty like, I don't want to say organically because everyone says organically, but like, or underground for that matter. I don't know. I'll do a lot of online marketing. I got my socials, of course. I'm in a ton of different groups I always post in. I'll post flyers, like physical flyers, all, in downtown, all over the place. I like to target specific venues for hanging up flyers, places we get, I'd imagine people who would want to go to this show would, probably also go here, and here. Mm-hmm. So it's just, kind of all about monitoring, like, where the energy and the vibes are.
Do you pay for AdSense at all on a lot of those, or?
I usually try and avoid paid ads as much as possible, just because I find they don't make that much of a difference. There's a little bit of a difference to be made, but it's all about, making sure that you are known to the scene. It's about putting yourself out there more than anything else. Mm-hmm. You can, have...
What's the secret, do you think, to that? Like,
be social, be friendly. Say hi to people, be engaged, be invested in them. Mm-hmm. Be invested in the people and the community around them. I mean, I feel like that's a running theme for each of the appearances that we've had here. Be involved in the community around you.
And that kind of answers partly in a way the thing that I was asking myself. Like, again, like going back to like, what do you give to the people that come to your show? Like, what are they getting out of it other than music and maybe alcohol, like. I
mean, it's a great vibe as well. I like I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, I like to cultivate a safe scene. So, it's not just me that, you're going to interact with and have a good time there, but it's everyone else there too. Like, I also specifically just try and go after like a lot of my friends that are more of the introverted side. I'm like, dude, come on out. It's going to be a great time. And they always have a great time. Because the people that I've, made sure come to the shows are chill. Mm-hmm. I like to, put more of a filter on things. I don't want just anyone coming to the show, because then, things get, like, diluted and watered down. And
I actually have an idea I'm going to give you off air so nobody steals it.
Okay,
I have an idea for that.
My little,
I'll just say membership cards.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, we're gonna dive into it after because we're gonna get a hop off in a minute. But
yeah,
I let you know about it. But it's a great idea. I got Loki. Like,
okay, that could definitely be something.
Mm-hmm. But before we hop off, let's have the people know where to find you. What are your links? The easiest way to find you, and whatnot.
All right. Well, I mean, the easiest way to find me is Instagram. It's LIAM, secondary M, so it's 2 M's back to back. LIAMMHENNESSEY. Again, that's on Instagram. I'm also on Facebook. My email is just my first name, last name, 98 at Gmail. Super easy. I'm a pretty easy guy to find. So I'm a little too loud to hide anyways, so.
No, I feel that. I meet people sometimes and they'll be like, "You remind me of my friend." Or they're like, "I've met you before." And I'm like, "No, you haven't."
No.
And they're like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Like, I'm pretty annoying. Like, like, I don't know how to put it to you. Like, if you've met me, you're definitely not going to forget my energy. You're going to be like, you're either going to be like, that guy was really cool. You're going to be like, that guy was a weirdo. Like, he's crazy. Like,
yeah.
There's no middle ground. You either think I'm a revolutionary or you think I'm a moron."
Yeah.
Like, and then there's no middle, and I kind of like that a lot.
I mean, yeah, it makes it easy to see, like,